Lust, often considered one of the 7 deadly sins, has long fascinated, entranced, and bewildered humanity. It is a primal force, an intense desire, most often of a sexual nature, that can captivate the human psyche with such power that reason, responsibility, and morality frequently fall to its side. Though it is a natural and biologically ingrained instinct, the unchecked pursuit of lust carries a profound cost. When left unbridled, it can corrode relationships, compromise integrity, and lead to emotional, psychological, and even spiritual ruin. This video explores the multifaceted price of lust, dissecting its impact on the self, relationships, and society. Lust as a double-edged sword. To begin with, it is essential to distinguish between healthy sexual desire and lust as a compulsive, consuming force. Healthy desire fosters intimacy, connection, and fulfillment within mutually respectful relationships. Lust, however, thrives on objectification, impulse, and fleeting gratification. It is less about connection and more about conquest. The momentary pleasure it provides often masks the long-term consequences that follow. While lust may feel invigorating and empowering in the moment, it can become a psychological trap. The repetition of seeking immediate gratification trains the brain to value intensity over intimacy. Over time, individuals may become emotionally numb, chasing bigger thrills while becoming less satisfied. This desensitization leads not only to personal dissatisfaction, but also damages one's capacity to form deep, lasting relationships. At the individual level, lust can foster a cycle of guilt, shame, and confusion. When people act against their values or engage in behaviors they later regret, such as infidelity, manipulative relationships, or consumption of exploitative content, they are often left grappling with emotional turmoil. Repeated indulgence in lustful impulses can lead to a fractured sense of self. A person might begin to question their worth, their ability to control their desires, and their moral compass. In extreme cases, lust becomes addictive. Like other forms of addiction, such as substance abuse or gambling, lust can hijack the brain's reward system. When this happens, personal goals, responsibilities, and long-term happiness are sacrificed at the altar of momentary pleasure. Emotional detachment, anxiety, and depression are often the psychological prices paid in such cases. In relationships, the cost of lust is particularly steep. When one partner is driven by lust for someone outside the relationship, trust is the first casualty. Infidelity, whether emotional or physical, is often born of a lustful desire that overrides loyalty and commitment. The betrayal that follows can be devastating. Rebuilding trust is a long, painful process, and in many cases, the relationship does not survive. Even within a committed relationship, unchecked lust can be harmful. When one partner views the other primarily as a means of gratification rather than as a full person with emotional and spiritual needs, love becomes transactional. Over time, such dynamics can erode emotional intimacy and lead to resentment, detachment, or manipulation. Furthermore, when people pursue relationships based primarily on lust, ignoring compatibility, shared values, or emotional connection, they often find themselves in unstable or toxic dynamics. These relationships, while initially passionate, tend to be short-lived and leave behind emotional wreckage. Societal ramifications. Beyond the personal and relational, the societal price of lust is no less significant. In a culture that commercializes and glorifies lust, people are constantly bombarded with sexual imagery, unrealistic standards, and objectifying messages. This can distort perceptions of love, beauty, and self-worth, especially among impressionable youth. Industries built around lust, such as pornography and sex trafficking, often exploit vulnerable individuals and perpetuate cycles of abuse. While not all expressions of sexuality are harmful, the commercialization of lust tends to strip away human dignity and reduce individuals to commodities. The normalization of such dynamics dulls collective empathy and devalues the sanctity of genuine human connection. Moreover, Leaders and public figures driven by lust have often found their careers, reputations, and lives ruined. Scandals involving sexual misconduct have brought down politicians, spiritual leaders, and celebrities alike. These public downfalls serve as cautionary tales, highlighting the high cost of indulging in desire without regard for consequences or accountability. Finding redemption and balance. Despite its dangers, lust does not have to lead to ruin. When recognized and managed with self-awareness, it can be integrated into a balanced, ethical life. Lust loses its destructive power when it is placed within the broader context of love, respect, and responsibility. The key lies in discipline, emotional intelligence, and a commitment to long-term fulfillment over short-term indulgence. Practices such as mindfulness, therapy, and spiritual reflection can help individuals understand the roots of their desires and navigate them with wisdom. Cultivating genuine intimacy, where desire is accompanied by respect and care, transforms lust from a destructive urge into a unifying force. Conclusion. Lust, in its raw form, is not inherently evil. It is part of what makes us human. But when it becomes the guiding force of our actions, it extracts a steep price. From fractured identities to broken relationships, from societal harm to spiritual emptiness, the unchecked pursuit of lust is a cautionary tale. To live fully and love deeply, we must look beyond fleeting desire and embrace connection, responsibility, and integrity. Only then can we enjoy the pleasures of life without paying the high price of lust.